शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विश्वदाय कृष्ण नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। वंदेहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। प्रेमरत्कण्ठयोस्फुरम्। Hare Krishna. So, Kannada translation. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ ನಾನು Should I speak in Kannada? Okay, I'll speak in English. So today is Ram Navami, appearance day of Lord Rama. Rama is the ideal human being. Rama is the ideal human being. We will start or still we have to wait? Actually, what's going on actually? It's moving on. Somebody is moving. Somebody. Huh? It's okay now. It's too late. So Rama is the ideal human being. When we speak about the ideal human being, obviously he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Obviously he should be. But when we say the ideal human being, what we mean by that? Because he is a human being or he is Supreme Personality of Godhead? Means particularly when he appeared in human society, he came to establish the ideals of human society. So he is called as Maryada Purushottama. Purushottama is a Purushottama. He is not just a ordinary human being, or he is not just a great human being also. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the meaning of Purushottama. So Maryada Purushottama means that Supreme Personality of Godhead who appears to set the ideal example of a human being. Now what is ideal human society or ideal human being means what? Prabhupada, he often repeatedly he said in his teachings, he wrote in his books, actual human civilization begins with Varnashram Dharma. So Varnashram Dharma, Varnashram civilization is actual human society or actual human civilization. So below Varnashrama, are those who are outside Varnashrama, they are called as Naradamas. Nara Adama, lowest among human beings. They are two-legged animals. And they are called as Varna Sankara. Varna Sankara means those who are not eligible for taking part in Varnashrama society. Or those who are not eligible for taking part in dharmic society. Naradama, Varna Sankara, then there is word Dvipada Pashu, two-legged animals. So, on what basis Prabhupada said that actual human civilization begins with Varnashrama? Anyone knows? Is there any verse in the Shastra which says that actual human civilization begins with Varnashrama? That verse from Hitopadesha. Ahara Nidra Bhayamaitunam cha Samanyametat Pashvir Naranam Dharmo Hitesham Adhiko Vishesho Dharme Nahina Pashubhi Samana. That is the verse on which Prabhupada based on. Hitopadesha is not actually Shastra or anything, it's just some good instructions. Hita Upadesha, beneficial instructions. They are general. So who wrote Hitopadesha? That is a controversy. Who wrote Hitopadesha? But whoever has written Hitopadesha, but they are good Upadesha, beneficial Upadesha. Whether we accept the authenticity of Hitopadesha or not, this verse is irrefutable. It's very highly logical and it is irrefutable. No one can refute that. Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maitunam. How logical it is. See, everyone knows that. Human beings are also doing. It's not such a big thing to understand. Human beings also are doing 4 activities and animals are also doing 4 activities. But dharma is the speciality of the human beings. If dharma is not there, human beings become animals. So there, yes, different people may say different things. Oh, this is the speciality of. But their dharma means regulation. The word dharma means regulation. Regulation in the sense, not any regulation will not become dharma. Like nowadays we have so many legalities. We have Supreme Court. What they call Nyayanga, they say. Legal entity. So, like in Indian Constitution, there are, what is that? Shasakanga, Nyayanga, and one more is there? Karyanga. So, like that. So, but these Shasakanga, Nyayanga, whatever, Karyanga, whatever it is, they will not make us human beings. They will degrade us to animals. So, dharma cannot be, that goes to the point that dharma cannot be manufactured by human beings. Anyway, dharmam tu sakshat, then we come to Veda pranayito dharma dharmas tad viparya. So all those things, of course, today's topic is not Varnashram Dharma. But one major thing which Lord Rama appears in this world is to establish Varnashram Dharma. When we say Lord is Maryada Purushottama, he came to exhibit or set the example of being an ideal king or ideal human being. He was ideal human being, he was ideal husband, he was ideal son, he was ideal brother, ideal king. Lord Rama is. So that means he comes to establish Varnashram Dharma. That is a major thing. Especially these two avatars, Krishna and Rama, one of the major thing they did was to establish Varnashram Dharma. By their example and by their teachings. Now Ramayana people, everyone knows that everyone knows it as a story, not as a science of dharma actually. If you see Ramayana from beginning to end, there are so many dharmic instructions, beginning to end. So how to follow, how one should not transgress one's father's order, one should not transgress king's order, like it is told about in Bhagavatam, yad arya vachasa, what is that? Yad agadaranyam. Dharmishta arya vachasa yad agadaranyam. So he was dharmishta. So arya vachasa means, arya means it is Dashrath Maharaj, one meaning of that. That verse applies to Krishna, that verse applies to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that verse applies to Ram also. Or that verse applies to another avatara, I told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, another feature of the Lord, Shadbhuja Gauranga. That was describes Shadbhuja Gauranga. Lord Chaitanya revealed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya form of 6 hands. In 2 hands there was bow and arrow, that is Rama's feature, and there was flute in 2 hands, and in one kamandalu and danda of sannyasi. In this way he revealed Shadbhuja Gauranga form. So that verse speaks about Shadbhuja Gauranga actually. Of course, he doesn't say that he doesn't describe 6 hands and all, but it applies to different. Anyway, that can be understood in many ways. That verse, it can apply to Prabhupada, it can apply to many acharyas. On the order of Saraswati Thakur, he went to Western countries. Dharmishta aryavachasa yadagat aranyam. Aranyam means, like Prabhupada compared all these big cities to forests in the 5th canto of Bhagavad. So that verse very much applies to. Actually, I analyzed that verse, how it applies to Srila Prabhupada, in one of my Vyas Puja offerings. Anyway, coming back to the point that he comes to one of the major themes. So Stri Dharma is discussed so much in Ramayana. Sita Devi, by the example of Sita Devi. There are Kaushalya's instructions to Stri Dharma appears in many places. One place is Kaushalya is instructing to Sita Devi when she is leaving to a forest with Lord Rama, and between Sita and Rama there is discussion. When Rama says, "You stay back, I will go to forest," Sita speaks so much about Stri Dharma. Then when they come to forest, there, which Rishi's wife they met? Bharadwaja Muni's wife, I think, I forgot her name. She speaks lot of Stri Dharma to Sita Devi. So like that, so much detailed, all the duties of the king, duties of the husband, duties of brothers, and duties of the son, duties of father. So, and how citizens should behave. Everything is there in that. So, but generally people, what is Ramayana for people? Especially today you see, although most of the people are not so much interested in Ramayana, they are interested in what cricket star is, how much centuries he is hitting, or how many fours and sixes they are hitting, or some naked woman, Bollywood woman dancing. So, but whatever Ramayana or Rama story the people know, it is mostly story. They don't know anything what the dharmic teachings which are given in Ramayana. Actually, completely ignorant about that. Right? No one knows it. They just know stories. So it's a lot. So therefore, we should not just story here. But I don't say that it is just Varnashrama Dharma. That is external, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Yahoe by. The internal is basically what is actually the purpose of Lord's appearance. The internal reason is basically give an opportunity for devotees to hear and chant about Him. That is the internal. Why Lord Krishna performs pastimes? So that we hear and chant about Him and we get attracted to Him and we go to Him. That's all. So, to deliver the living entities. But when He comes to, that also He does. Like Prabhupada, He said, my 50% of my mission is, He didn't just preach bhakti or He didn't just speak some katha, Ramayana Katha or something like Prabhupada. If you see, Prabhupada never spoke Ramayana Katha or Krishna Katha. Just stories of Krishna, very less or little. He wrote Krishna book, no doubt, but Krishna book is also filled with so much philosophy, basic philosophy. And in his lectures, Prabhupada in his lectures, he didn't speak so much stories actually. He always spoke Bhagavad Gita philosophy. Anyway, the point is that, so there is no wrong to discuss Krishna's pastimes or Rama's pastimes. That is what we are supposed to do. So just like Prabhupada said, 50% of my mission is establishing Varnashrama. So it seems to me, at least my understanding of Ramayana or Krishna Leela, is that 50% of what they do is to establish Varnashram Dharma. 50% they do pastimes for us to hear and chant, for devotees to chant and hear. And one problem with us is that we think that now we have become devotees. We don't need to bother about that side of, that 50% side of what Rama and Krishna came to, what Rama and Krishna came to. This will disturb. You can pause this maybe. Generally what we do is that we neglect that 50% part, and of course this 50% part is always difficult to follow. We don't have taste for hearing and chanting. So basically we end up in hearing and chanting the glories of some mundane rascals, maybe some politician, very influential politician, or some cricket star or cinema star or whatever. So of course, now today my topic is not how Lord Rama came to establish Varnashram Dharma. In 9th canto of Bhagavatam, there is one verse in that section where there is Shukdev Goswami narrates the pastimes of Lord Rama. In just 2 chapters, he summarizes all the pastimes. In the beginning only, he says, you have heard Lord Rama's pastimes. So he is not narrating so much in detail. And actually, he gave Lord, if you see, Shukdev Goswami has given so many chapters for Lord Nrsimhadev, so many chapters for Varahadev, so many chapters for Vamanadev, but he didn't give so many chapters for Lord Ramachandra. In fact, he should give more than other avatars, because Lord Rama's form and Leelas are more elaborate and they are closer to Lord Krishna actually. So Varadev, Vamandev and Nrsimhadev, they just appeared a little bit and they did some, of course something means it's a very major thing. What is that? Like this BBC, British broadcasting company has made some videos, documentaries. The days that shook the world, like that. There are so many documentaries. So something sensational they did, killing great demons. But if you see Lord Rama, he did so much elaborate pastimes. Krishna and Rama, both of them. And Rama's form is very close to Krishna. We say that Krishna is original, Gaudiyas, we say Krishna is original personality of Godhead and Rama is very close. So if you compare with other avatars and Ramachandra his pastimes are more elaborate, and he is very popular also, no doubt. Like we were hearing, in fact, he is more popular than in India than Krishna actually. So, but he doesn't give him so much, just 2 chapters. Of course, there are many reasons or suggestions we can give. So, Shukdev Goswami wanted to rush towards Krishna's pastimes. That is one thing. And he says to Parikshit, you have heard so much before. You have heard that time also when Parikshit was there, Lord Rama's pastimes were famous that time also. So, in this way, we see that Rama is very close to Krishna. But Shukdev Goswami, he did. But in one verse, Shukdev Goswami, he says, in the 9th canto, although it was Treta Yuga, but because of the rule of Rama, what we call as Rama Rajya, so Rama Rajya was so much discussed. In India, these fellows foolish, Gandhi and all these fellows, before independence, they would speak so much about Rama Rajya in India. So we will chase away British and we will bring back Rama Rajya. British Raj was better than this Ravan Raj which is going on now. British Raj. After independence, all these real Nehru and all chailas of Ravan actually. Of course, I don't know, I should not say I may be legally held responsible for commenting on a Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister, he is not there now. And if you comment on present Prime Minister, finished I'll be. So, all these fellows are rascals, that's all. They are. So, they are all chailas of Ravan actually, that's all. So, they don't have any... Na satyam, what is that Krishna says? Pravatim cha nivritim cha janana vidurasura na shaucham na pichacharo na satyam teshu vidyate. So these people, they don't have truthfulness. They don't know what is proper behavior. And na shaucham means na shaucham na pichacharo. They don't have cleanliness. Shaucham means its cleanliness means their behavior also. They are not clean in their behavior. So anyway, it's a different subject matter. So because of the rule of Lord Rama, Although it was Treta Yuga, but it appeared like it was Satya Yuga. So, but Treta Yuga and Satya Yuga, there is no difference, no? But in the Purport Prabhupada, he says that even now in this Kali Yuga, we can bring back Satya Yuga if we introduce Varnashrama and Sankirtan movement, he says. These two things he says in the Purport. In the 9th canto of Bhagavatam, we can bring back. It was very ambitious. Prabhupada was very ambitious. But it is not impossible. We may think it is impossible. Like just before Prabhupada went to America and preached in Western countries, everyone thought it is impossible. All the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Prabhupada own God brothers, so everyone thought that it is impossible. But once he went there, so then they realized, okay, it is possible. Similarly, now we may think that it is impossible. What Prabhupada is hoping and expecting from us, or what his ambitions, he wanted to completely turn over, completely revolutionary spirit. Revolution means complete change, complete U-turn. So he wanted to completely transform or change the society. And revert back to Vedic culture. Like he didn't want democracy, he wanted, monarchy, kings, Kshatriya kings. So he wanted a Brahmin class. So now where is Brahmin class? All are Shudras actually. So these are all his ambitious projects which he wanted to. But it is possible, because if Krishna and Rama are behind us, what's impossible? Only thing is we have to surrender. So which is a very difficult project for us. Surrendering. One of the things in Bhagavad Gita is that why we don't surrender to Krishna, or what blocks us to surrender to Krishna, is our material desires. Like in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says that why people don't surrender to me, they surrender to demigods. Because kamastaisya rutagyana prapadyante anya devata. So material desires, they become stumbling blocks in surrendering to Krishna. Anyway, I didn't want to discuss on how Lord Rama came to establish Varnashrama. Today I wanted to take one verse from Ramayana that we can say it is the most important verse in Ramayana. We can say like that. And a very famous verse. So this verse appears in Yuddha Khanda. So just before Lord Rama and Sugriva, along with their Vanara Sainya, they attacked Lanka. So there was a discussion in Lanka between Ravana and his associates. So Ravana was boasting, I am unconquerable, no one can kill me. But still, he says that I have got a curse. Therefore, I want you all to help me to kill this Rama. Although others, they advise him that even Kumbhakarna, that time he says that, you foolish king, he says. You could have discussed with us before kidnapping Sita. Then Vibhishana also, he speaks. Vibhishana is half brother of Ravana. So he gives him good advices, but Ravana doesn't take them. Everyone insults, even Ravana's son Indrajit. So he insults him, Vibhishana. And Ravana also insults this Vibhishana character, and we can see that there is another character in Mahabharata who is like who were in both similar circumstances. They were advising, but their advice was not taken positively. Who was that? Vidura. So Vibhishana and Vidura were in same circumstances. So Vibhishana advised Ravana, but Ravana insulted him, sent away. Similarly, Vidura used to advise and constantly advised Dhritarashtra, but at this particular time, just before Kurukshetra war, when he was advising Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana became angry and insulted him. Then Vidura left home. Of course, there is difference. Vidura became sannyasi, and Vibhishana went and joined Rama. So later, Vidura came back. He left before the war, and he went to all the holy places. Then he met Uddhava and Maitreya Muni. Heard what is that? Uddhava Gita from him, from Maitreya Muni, or in fact a whole Bhagavatam he heard. After hearing Bhagavatam, he came back again. So we see some similar circumstances in these both characters, one from Ramayana and the other from Mahabharata. So when Vibhishana came along with his few associates to join Rama, so initially there was hesitation from the associates of Lord Rama, like Sugriva was the one who took a very strong stance that he should not be inducted into our camp. In fact, he suggested that he should be killed, he said. So Hanuman also spoke. But at last Lord Rama decided that because he has come to take shelter of me, even if he turns to be enemy, I will still give him shelter. And so there he spoke this verse. We will recite this very nice verse. You all can memorize this. Sakradeva prapannaya tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarva bhutebhyo. I have a different version. I have a different version and you people have a different version. Dadame tadvratam mama. So little bit one pada is different. Abhayam sarva bhutebhyo. What is that? Abhayam sarvada. ठीक है. I was seeing from my one edition of Ramayana. Definitely these Ramayans which are published, they have a lot of different readings. Different editions have different readings. So therefore scholars nowadays, they make critical editions, what they call as critical editions. Sakradeva prapannoya tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadame tadvratam mama. Sakradeva prapannoya tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadame tadvratam mama. Sakradeva prapannoya tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai ददामि तद्व्रतं मम सकृदेव प्रपन्नो तवास्मीति च याचते अभयं सर्वदा तस्मै ददामि तद्व्रतं मम सकृदेव प्रपन्नो तवास्मीति च याचते अभयं सर्वदा तस्मै ददामि तद्व्रतं मम. Anyone would like to? Sakradeva prapannoyas. Once only. Eva, certainly. Prapannaha, surrendered. Yaha, anyone. Who? Tava, yours. Asmi, I am. Iti, thus. Cha, also. Yachate, praise. Abhayam, fearlessness. Sarvada, always. Tasmai, unto him. Dadami, I give. Etat, this. Vratam, woe. Mama, my. Translation. It is my vow that if only one seriously surrenders unto me, it is my vow that if only once seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time. So these word-to-word meanings and translation are rendering by Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 22, text 34, which is this verse. Sakradeva prapannoyam tavasmi chayachate. So in the purport Prabhupada he just writes one line. This verse from Ramayana Yuddha Kanda 18.33 was spoken by Lord Ramachandra. It was spoken by Lord Ramachandra. So now this word vratam comes here. Vratam, my vow. It is my vow. Vratam means vow. Vow means what? Vow means promise. So it is promise of Lord Rama is promising that I will award, if once one says from this day onwards I am yours. From this day I am yours. To say like this, from this day I am yours, is it easy? We may superficially say, but to give up all material desires and just surrender to Krishna is not so easy, right? To say like this. When we come to this day, that to say that, this day, from this day onwards I am yours is a big thing, it is. We are very far from this. We are very far from this. Often we speak love of Godhead, love, right? So, but love of Godhead is very far, and even actually this is surrender is considered as door to that love of Godhead. And we are even far away from this surrendering actually. So much. We want to hold ourselves. We don't want to jump in devotional service. We want to hold ourselves. In illusion, basically. Sakradeva. So it is those who say like that, Tavasmiti, Tavasmi, I am yours. Tavasmi means Chayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami tad. I will award him fearlessness. And this is my promise, he says. So, just like Prabhupada, in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, he says, Lord Krishna says loudly, he says, Sarva dharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyo. He quotes that verse. That means, sometime in the Acharya's commentaries, like this Prabhupada is telling in introduction to Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says loudly. When he spoke that verse, he spoke loudly actually. So in Bhagavad Gita commentaries, if you see our Acharya's commentaries, some of the Acharyas, sometimes they comment, when Krishna was speaking these words, he was hitting on his chest, like that. So they bring out that Krishna's spirit, mood of speaking those verses, significance of the way this, Krishna speaks there. So like that, Lord Rama is speaking this loudly. This is my promise, he says. And in Bhagavad Gita we see that Krishna also again and again promises. There are many verses, no? What is that? Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskaro mame vaishasi yuktvaivam. No, I want the other verse. Other similar verse is there in the 18th chapter. This is mame vaishasi yuktva atmanam matparayana. This is 9.34. So 18.54 is similar verse. Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskaro Mamevashyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. You will satyam te, you will surely come to me if you do these four things. Manmana bhav madbhakto. Always remember me, think of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, worship me. If you do these four things, you will surely come back to me. I am promising you this because you are dear to me. Priyosi me. Pratijani, that word pratijani, promise, Krishna is promising. Then that verse is there in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. So there, so he says, he is promising there also that my devotees will never perish, he says. Then any other places where Krishna promises? There are many places like that. You can think of. That photo is there. Kshipram bhavati, what? 12.7. Chira. Tesham aham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagat bhavami na chirat partha. Nahi. There it pratijani doesn't come there.
But you said spirit of I
promise. Devi Shagunam Mama Duratmami Vaye Prapadmayami Tam Tharanthi. That one we discussed. Kshipram Bhavati. Like that, many places anyway he says that. And so he promises like that. And we know this promise is also there, famous. Sarva dharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. So these verses, this vratam mama, he says, this is my promise, he says. So in 10th canto of Bhagavatam, when demigods, Garbhastuti is there, demigods were praying to Krishna while he was in the womb of Devaki. So he says, they say, no, Satyavratam Satya, that verse is there. Satyavratam Satya Param Tri Satyam Satyasya Yonim Nihitam Cha Satye Satyasya Satyam Vrata Satya Netram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapadde. So that verse speaks again Satya Satya, 9 times Satya word comes there. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya yonim nihitam cha Satya. So that verse begins with Satyavratam. Satyavratam, one who is true to his promises. Prabhupada translates it as. Then he gives a footnote to that word to word meanings. Yada yada hi dharmasya verse he quotes. That means yada hi dharmasya is also promise. So whenever and wherever there is decline in dharma and increase in adharma, I come, appear again and again, yuge yuge, sambhavan. So he says, what is that? Why it is Prabhupada is linking to that verse? Because when there is disturbance, when there is adharma and when there is disturbance by demons in the world, in the universe, first who are the one who become disturbed actually? So I mean to say, who become responsible means demigods are disturbed, very much disturbed, and they go to the Lord, and they pray to the Lord, and then Lord promises to them that I am going to appear. So now particularly Prabhupada is linking that verse, that Satya Vratam, to this Yada Yadahi verse. Why? Because demigods had gone to, headed by Brahma, Bude, you all know, just before the appearance of Krishna or before the appearance of Rama also. When there was so much disturbance by Ravana, so all the demigods, they went to Lord Vishnu, headed by Brahma, they went there to Kshira Sagara, and then they prayed. Then they said that very soon I will appear as son of, Dasharatha in Ayodhya, like that. Similarly in Krishna Lila also. So now Prabhupada is linking that to Yada Yadahi. Why? Because we had approached to you for help, and you had promised to us that you are going to appear. Now you have appeared in the womb of Devaki. So your promise that Yada Yadahi Dharmasya in Bhagavad Gita, when there is adharma comes because of these demons, so you surely appear. Like that Prabhupada is. Actually Krishna had not spoken yet Yada Yadahi Dharmasya there. See, he was still in the womb of Devaki. Of course he has spoken many times Bhagavad Gita. That is a different case. It is eternal. Yeah. So many times he has spoken Bhagavad Gita, but still Prabhupada he links it to Yada Yadahi Dharmasya. Basically the point is that why they spoke Satyavratam means you had promised that you will appear, now you have appeared. Means the demigods were very happy that, so therefore you are so true to your promises, like that. There is another meaning to that word, of course, Satyavratam. That he can be achieved only those who follow the true vrata, real path. Real devotion, not cheating devotion or sahajiya or mayavad mixed devotional service. He cannot be approached by. That is the difference. Of course, we are not discussing that verse, Satyavratam Satya. So basically, Satyavratam, and in that purport again Prabhupada quotes this verse actually. Sakradeva prapanna yas tavasmi iti yachate tavasmiti chayaj abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami tadvratam. So basically Prabhupada for Satyavratam he quotes two verses. Krishna is promising sarvadharmam parityajya mamekam, and Rama is promising that I will award abhayam to those who are. So then another thing to understand here is that Lord's qualities, Rama and Krishna, if you see, there are qualities of Krishna and Rama. So Satyavakya is one of the qualities of among the 64 qualities. So one of the qualities is Satyavakya, Krishna's, Rupa Goswami has analyzed. And another quality is Sudrida Vrata. So Satyavakya means Syan Nandratam Vacho Yasya Satyavakya Sasakatyate. So that means one who does not fail in his promise. Or in other words, he fulfills his words. So that is the meaning of Satyavakya. And Sudrida Vrata means Pratigya Niyamo Yasya Satya Sa Sudrida Vrata. Two things. One who fulfills his promises, Pratigya. Another is Niyamo. He follows his vows. Means Niyama means you take, okay, this today I am going to fast. So he follows all the rules and regulations. So Yasya Satyau Sa Sudrida. So his meaning, that is the meaning of Sudrida Vrata. Now in the beginning of Ramayana, if you see, Valmiki, there is conversation between Narada and Valmiki. So what was the first verse of Ramayana? In the first verse of Ramayana, so he glorifies, Valmiki glorifies Narada Muni. And then in the second verse onwards, he asks this question: who is there who is ideal human being in this, presently in this world? Then he goes on to explain that so whether that person possesses these qualities. So like this, there are verses, Charitrena cha ko yuktah sarva bhuteshu ko hitah vidvan kahak samartasya kashika priyadarshanaha. No, before. That means, oh Krishna. He is showing his ego that his wife should come and open the window. Gate. Who always follows Vedic customs? Who benefits all creatures? Who is learned? Who can execute anything? Who is exclusively pleasing to look at? Like that. Kaishaka Priyadarshanaha. Like that he says. And then he asks before that, Kriti Kritan, just one minute, just a minute. Kon vasmin sampratam loke gunavan kasya viryavan dharmajascha kratadnyascha satyavakyo dridavratah. So Valmiki is asking, who is in this world who in this world and at this time possesses all auspicious qualities? Who is powerful, a knower of Vedic Dharma, filled with gratitude, a truthful person, and firm in his vows? So here again, Satyavakyo Dridavratah. Both are together. They are Krishna. So Rupa Goswami, while he explained Krishna's qualities, 8th and 18th qualities there. I am not taking examples which Rupa Goswami speaks. Like for example, Satyavakya. Or I think it is Sudrida Vrata. Kunti is telling, you had promised me that you will bring back my sons. You kept your promise. So one day sun may become cold, moon may become hot, but you will never fail in your words, like that, in your promises. Like that, Kunti Devi is glorifying Krishna. So like that, there are examples given by Rupa Goswami for Satyavakya Sudrida Vrata. So here, same thing, our Valmiki is asking, who has this kind of qualities? Who is Satyavakya and Sudrida Vrata? So in Ramayana, Rama himself says, Andratam nokta purvam me nacha vakshe kadachana. I have never spoken untruth and I shall never speak untruth. And for Dhrida Vrata also, he speaks to, O Sita, I can even give up my life, or you and Lakshmana, but I will never fail a promise that I have made, especially to the Brahmanas. Apyaham jivitam jahyam त्वां वा सीते स लक्ष्मणं न हि प्रतिज्ञां संस्कृत्य ब्राह्मणेभ्यो विशेषतः. So you see, he is how he is benefit. Namo Brahmanye Devaya, benefactor. He says, I can give up you and Sita and Lakshman also, but I will never fail to promise what I have promised to Brahmanas, he says. Aham jivitam jhayyam, I can give up my life. Tvam va site sa Lakshmanam, I can give you Sita, I can give up Lakshman also, but I will never fail to my promise which I have made for Brahmanas, he says. So in this way, so Valmiki was asking whether somebody is there on this earth who possesses these qualities. Then in reply to that, so Narada Muni elaborately describes the qualities of Lord Rama. It's an elaborate section actually. I think previously we discussed the qualities of Rama once, right? We had a seminar. So in one place, that is Canto Balakanda, that means Balakanda is first Kanda. Chapter 1, text number 12, Narad Muni speaks to Valmiki. Dharmadya satya sandascha prajanam cha hite rataha yashasvi jnana sampanna shuchir vashaha samadhiman prajapati sama shriman data ripu nishudanaha. You understood all these words, right? Dharmadnyaha, he is very religious. He knows his duties. Satya sandasya, he is true to his promise. So this is, then prajanam chahite rataha, he takes care of the benefit of, he is a beneficiary of his citizens. Yashasvi, he is successful, famous. Jnana sampannaha, full of knowledge. Shuchi means here, it is translated as straightforward. I told that just before. Shuchi means, which verse I was quoting? Bhagavad Gita. Na shaucham, na pichacharo, na satyam tesh. Shuchi means they are free from corruption basically. Corruption means not only in terms of money, character corruption is also there. Shuchi means very good character, people with good character. Vashaha means he is self-controlled. No, Vasha here it is dependent on his devotees, it is translated. Samadhiman, absorbed it. So like this elaborately qualities of Lord Rama are described by Narad Muni. So that word which we were discussing, that came here, Satya Sandhasya, he is true to his promise. This is of our interest here, discussion. So he is true. Sandha word means refers to promise actually. So Satya means true. Sandha means promise. One who is true to his promises. So again he speaks to Sita Devi. Apyaham jivitam jhayyam. Same verse is quoted here again. Apyaham jivitam jhayyam tvam va site sa lakshmanam nahi pratigyam samsrutya brahmanebhyo visheshata. O Sita, I can even give up my life for you and Lakshmana, but I will never fail to fulfill a promise that I have made especially to the Brahmanas. So why we are discussing here? Sudrada, drada, satya vakya, drada vrata, because that word vrata, this is my vratam. Vratam mama, he says, this is my promise. So his promise is always true. Satya vratam. We may make so many promises, we may say this, we may say that, so many things we may say, but we will not do it. But he can do it. So therefore Satyavratam is Satyavratam. Is. Anyway, these qualities are there of Lord Rama. And this verse is quoted many places. Like I said, Prabhupada quotes it for Satyavratam. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted this verse in his teachings to Sanatana Goswami. So basically that comes in Madhya Leela's 22nd chapter, the process of devotional service. So in that chapter, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches first Sambandha Jnana, that there are many living entities, some are liberated, some are conditioned souls. So then he speaks about Abhideya, how conditioned souls can become free from the clutches of Maya. So he glorifies surrendering to the process of, means he explains the super excellence of devotional service over karma, jnana, yoga, how bhakti is superior. So in that context, he quotes many verses, and one of the verses is that. So basically what it indicates here is that devotional service or surrendering to Lord, we have advantage in bhakti is that we have support of the Lord. Lord takes care of us. We don't have to endeavor in the sense that we have, for success in our process of spiritual practices, we don't have to just rely on our own practices. Of course, in bhakti also we have to do our practice. But in other processes, there is no support from the Lord. Here, Lord is, He says, I will take care of you. You surrender to me, I will take care of you. So like that, this verse was quoted, Sakradeva Prapanno. So I will, this was, just before this verse, that verse is there. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakar Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Ra Adhikar. So basically how to become free from the clutches of Maya by surrendering to Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted Daivi Yesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durataya Maya. So after that, one or two more verses and then he quotes here. So just before this, some in Bengali, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says to Krishna Tomara Haya Yadi Bole Ekabara Maya Bandha Haite Krishna Tare Kare Para. Krishna Tomara Haya Yadi Bole Ekabara. If you say to Krishna that I am yours once also, Bale Ekabara means once also. I am yours. But what is the meaning of that telling that I am yours? Here it is told once. Okay, once. Ek bar bol do. One time you tell that I am yours. But we tell no so many. What is the meaning of this I am yours? To tell once. One is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, my dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you so many. Actually this is very elaborate. Prabhupada is, in his translation, he is elaborating on this. It's just simple. Krishna tomara hai yadi bole ek bar. Once if you say that, Krishna, I am yours. But you see Prabhupada how he elaborates that. My dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in the material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. This is the meaning of telling I am yours. Prabhupada is helping us to understand. As usual, he is Acharya. And he is a pure devotee. He is surrendered devotee. My dear Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in the material world. Today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. Like this we have to pray to Krishna. This is the meaning of I am yours. That also means we should give up our material desires. Because if we have material desires, then how will surrender to Krishna? Maya bandha haite Krishna tare kare para. So then Krishna will release. One is immediately freed from the clutches if he seriously and sincerely says. Seriously and sincerely says. So then this verse is quoted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sakradeva prapanno yastava. So then again, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the same chapter he goes on to explain this surrender process more clearly. So he quotes that verse. Anukulasya sankalpo pratikulasya varjanam rakshishyati iti vishvaso gopratve varanam tata atmanikshepa karpanyo shadvida sharanagatihi. So he quotes that and he explains. So for after Anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya verse, that you all know, translation of that verse. It basically speaks about six limbs of surrender. Then he quotes a verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tavasmiti vadan vacho tataiva manasa vidan tatsanam ashritasthannva modate sharanagataha. Tavasmiti vadan vacho. One whose body is fully surrendered takes shelter at the holy place where Krishna had his pastimes, and he prays to the Lord, "My Lord, I am yours." Understanding this with his mind, he enjoys spiritual bliss. Why I am quoting this verse here? This section, that word Tavasmiti comes here. This is from Hari Bhakti Vilas, 11th Vilas. There are 20 Vilasas in Hari Bhakti Vilas written by. Some say it is written by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, some say it is written by Sanatana Goswami, some say it is Gopal Bhatta Goswami organized material for Sanatana Goswami to write. So like that different opinions are there. Whatever. So 11th Vilas, verse number 417, 18. Tavasmiti vadan vacha tataiva manasa vidan tatsthanam ashritasthannva modate sharanagataha. So basically surrender means what? We should say to Krishna that I am yours. So Sharanalaya kare Krishne Atma Samarpan Krishna Tara kare tat kale Atma Sam. When a devotee thus fully surrenders unto Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna accepts him as one of his confidential associates. So like that. This verse. There is one verse I would like to read that. There are some verses actually which generally we recite them in deity worship as an offering prayers to the Lord. Tavasmi radhika nata karmana manasa gira Krishna kante tavasmi yuvameva gatir mama sharanam mam prapannosmi karuna nikarak karau prasadam kuru dasyam vo mahi dushte paradini. So tavasmi radhika nata. You understood? O Radhika Nata, O Lord of Radha, I am yours. Karmana manasa gira. Similarly, not only I am yours, even my activities, my body, my mind and my words are also yours. Krishna Kante Tavasmi. Again Tavasmi word comes. What is the meaning of Krishna Kante Tavasmi? O Radha, Krishna Kanta. Who is Krishna Kanta? It is Radha. Kante means ekara. When it comes, it becomes nominative. Ashtama vibhakti, that. Kante. Krishna Kante Tavasmi. Yuvam mama eva gatir mama. So, you are my only shelter. So, like that. Then, Sharanam mam prapannosmi karuna nikara karao prasadam kuru dasyam bo mahi dushta paradini. I have become wicked, dushta. I have become subject to all these material desires and sense gratification. So, but now I want to surrender to you. So please show compassion on me and prasadam, give me mercy to your servant, like this. So 2 times in one verse, Tavasmi, Tavasmi. He is praying to Krishna also and Radha also, that I am yours, like that. So like this, we have to repeatedly offer prayers to Lord. Then one day that mood will come that, okay, I am yours. That sense of independent from Krishna, we give up that. We have tendency not to give ourselves to Krishna in the material world. So, I'll read one more verse. Satyapi vedapagame natha tavaham na mama kinastvam samudro hi tarangakva chana samudrastharangaha. Samudro hi tarangakva chana samudrastharangaha. I will read the translation, then I like. My Lord, even when all difference is gone, I am still yours, though you are not mine. A wave belongs to the ocean, but surely the ocean doesn't belong to the wave. This translation is not so clear. Samudro hi tarangakva nacha samudras tarangaha. Means what? So wave belong to ocean, but ocean doesn't belong to ocean. Cannot say that, you are mine. You are my property. I am yours. So therefore that word comes. Satyapi vedapagamo nata tavaham mama kinastvam. So tavaham, I am yours. Even after Veda has gone. Veda means what? Actually this verse is, from where? Prarthana Shatpadi, verse number 3. Prarthana Shatpadi is a compilation of our prayers composed by Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya. You know what he says? Even when Veda goes away, still I am yours. You are not mine. Actually, Mayavadis, Advaitavadis, they should have learned from this. Actually, this verse is speaking about Achintya Veda actually. Shankaracharya is teaching Achintya Veda Tattva in this verse actually.
What verse?
So, Prarthana Shatpadi 3. Satyapi Vedapagama game nata tavaham na mama kinastvam. So in this way, so tavahasmi. So when we pray to Lord, saying that tavahasmi. Now one thing I would like to say is, generally we devotees, we are like, we are struggling. We are not yet fully surrendered to Krishna. And we are taught to surrender to Krishna in this mood that Krishna, I am yours, or Rama, I am yours. So, like that. But actually Krishna says to gopis that I am yours. That is the difference. Or Radharani can say that you are mine, Like now Shankaracharya, he says, according to Tattva, it's okay, Shankaracharya is correct. So, we cannot say, wave cannot claim that ocean is, its property actually. But Radharani can claim. So, Vashya, one of the quality of Rama is that Vashya, he becomes controlled by his devotees. So, devotees may say that, but not we devotees. We should not think we are devotees. We are still far away from surrendering to Krishna. So, that is one thing. So, I was just thinking on this verse that Sakradeva prapannoyas tavasmiti chayachate. So, abhayam sarvada. So, this verse, I was comparing this verse to, if you see, with it is similar to sarvadharmam paritejya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. So, Sakradeva prapannoyam. How this is, if you compare with sarvadharmam paritejya, how it is? That was sarvadharmam paritejya mamekam sharanam vraja. So, Sakradeva Prapannam means Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Tavasmichi Chayachate is Sarvadharma Paritejya. I don't have any connection with anything else, only I am yours. So, Abhayam Sarvada Tasmai. Ma Shuchaha. Actually, it is what is that verse that says, that line? Aham tvam sarva papyabhyo. That is Abhayam Sarvada. Ma Shucha, it seems that it is Abhayam Dadami. Ma Shucha. Moksha Ishyami is Abhayam Sarvada Dadami. And Etad Vratam Mama is Ma Shucha actually. So, don't fear, I will protect you. So, like that we can compare this verse to. Both these verses are on same level actually. They are equal, they are teachings. So, the next point is how Lord Rama relieved in his pastimes, from fear. So, some examples. So, when he was 16-year-old, Vishwamitra took him. All these rishis were troubled by Tataka, Maricha, Subahu and all these demons. It's okay, don't bother. So he relieved. Generally rishis, they are not fearful, but they are fearful about that their sacrifices, vows, which their religious practices which they are doing, they will be spoiled by these people. So he went and relieved their fear. Then later again when he went to Dandakaranya forest, there he killed so many demons. So he relieved all the rishis and other innocent beings there from their fear. Then he relieves fear of, Sugriva, how much he was fearful of Vali. He was running all over the earth. Earth means not only this, just our earth actually, Bharatavarsha. He was running around in a broader earth actually. Later he tells, when Rama and Sugriva were discussing where to send which different Vanaras to send in different directions to search Sita Devi. Then Sugriva tells all the geography of the earth. Then Lord Rama asks, how come you know so much geography? So then he says that Vali was chasing me, I was running around all over the in fear of Vali, he was running around. Then he comes and takes shelter of that mountain. What is that mountain? What the name of that mountain here in Kishkinda? Kishkinda, Chitrakoot is that is different. Chitrakoot is where? That is Nasik, right? Oh, that is UP. Yeah, there. Panchavati is in Nasik. No, not that. That another mountain is there. Rishimukha Parvata. Even not Rishimukha. That Rishimukha Parvata it was. Yeah. Yes, Rishimukha Parvata. Matanga Rishi. So at last he comes and takes. But there also he was living in fear of Vali. Anytime he may come and kill me and all. So Lord Rama came and relieved him from all that fear. So like that he relieves from fear. Sakradeva prapanno yastavasmi chayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai. Now in Bhagavad Gita, this verse, it is difficult to say. Like Sarvadharmam Parityaja Mameksham Sharanam Raja. Sri Vaishnavas, they say that is the highest teaching actually. For Sri Vaishnavas, that is the highest teaching. Or even in fact Madhvas also you can say. But Gaudiyas, we may say, okay, that is a certain level, that is a highest teaching. Sometime I even explain that whole Bhagavad Gita should be understood according to that. I don't know, I have to confirm that. But at least as if now whatever study of Bhagavad Gita I have done, I consider that verse as Paribhasha Sutra. I don't know whether any acharyas have explained like that. Sarvadharmam Parityaja, everything, all the verses of Bhagavad Gita has to be understood like that. Sarvadharmam Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Surrendering to Krishna is the central theme of Bhagavad Gita, right? And Prabhupada quoted this verse, Sarvadharmam Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja, as highest number of times. Highest. Next highest quoted verse is Dehinosmin Yata Deve. But there is lot of gap between Sarvadharmam Parityaja and Dehinosmin Yata Deve. And devotees have approximately they have counted how many times he has quoted Sarvadharmam and how much he has quoted Dehinosmin and many other verses of Bhagavad Gita. I have a list of that. I forgot today, I could have quoted some of that from that list. So, but that is highest quoted verse, Sarvadharmam. We can say that is a teaching of, highest teaching, means central teaching of Srila Prabhupada. Surrender to Krishna, surrender to Krishna, surrender to Krishna. He spoke that, Krishna, 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 you have to surrender to Krishna actually. So, in one sense that is true, but Gaudiyas, they bring up Rasa Tattva, So like now we may say this is the highest teaching in Ramayana. For Sri Vaishnavas, yes, this verse is the most important verse in Ramayana. And this is the highest teaching of Ramayana. Sakradeva prapannoyam thavasmi tijayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami tadvratam mama. Like that. This can be the highest verse. But Gaudiyas, if they read Ramayana, definitely they will speak about Rama's separation from Sita and all those things as, that Rasa Tattva they will discuss as highest. Like in 5th canto of Bhagavatam. So there is a description that Lord Rama was teaching that how much one has to undergo miseries and troubles if one accepts a wife by his example, that is a verse. But then in the purport, if you see, first part of the purport, Prabhupada explains what are the miseries of accepting a woman, wife, and associating with woman and all difficulties. Then suddenly, second part of the purport, he speaks the transcendental, rasa, tattva, relation between Sita and Ram. So how that love in separation, this love, this misery apparently which appears, Lord Rama, which he is undergoing, that misery and suffering in separation from his wife. Just like a mundane husband, when he loses his wife, he feels intense grief. So, but this is a transcendental happiness and bliss, he says. So, Prabhupada explains in terms of Rasa Tattva. So, obviously, Gaudiyas will discuss. But at certain level, this is, and for our level, this verse is very important. We have to bring that mood that I am yours, Krishna, I am yours, Tavasmi, Tavasmi, Tavasmi. This is very important. We should not just take, we are Gaudiyas and we are transcendental, like, we are actually not transcending, like now, like in our movement, in ISKCON, we want to transgress Varnashrama. We don't want to transcend Varnashrama. Right or not? Of course, in one sense, Varnashrama is eternal culture. It is there in the spiritual world also, in Krishna's pastimes and Rama's pastimes also. So that Varnashrama is there. That is a different subject. But Varnashrama takes us to the level of Paramhamsa. It's Varnashrama as a regulating factor, as a regulating dharmic codes. It takes us to Paramahamsa stage. Then beyond that we have to do bhakti actually. So we have to transcend Varnashrama, not transgress Varnashrama. Now before we come to the transcendental position, we are trying to transgress actually. So that is nonsense. So similarly, this verse, surrendering to Krishna, we may speak about prema, love and all these things. But where is the surrender? We are struggling to come to the point of surrendering to Krishna. Where is question of love? So like Prabhupada said that Lord Chaitanya's teachings begin where Lord Krishna's teachings end. That means from surrender we have to start our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's following from there. Or sometime he said, people misunderstood, Krishna taught how to surrender to him, Sarvadharma Parityaj. They misunderstood, therefore he again appeared how to teach surrender. Prabhupada said that. So now we are speaking about love, but so we have to surrender to Krishna. So in this way, this verse can be said as highest teaching in Ramayana, in one sense. So therefore it is the most important verse from Ramayana. It is Sakradeva Prapannoyam Prapannoyas Tavasmiti Chayachate Abhayam Sarvada Tasmai Dadami Tad Pratam Mama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Actually, it is not that. I don't know much about what Sri Vaishnavas they say. But one thing I can say is that most of these things are reconciled in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. We may not use their terminologies, but more or less they are reconciled. For example, I'll just give one example. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Prapatti Rupa Goswami considers it as one of the Anga of Bhakti. It's a part of surrender. So self-surrender. There is one Anga out of the 64 Angas which he describes. So one of the Anga is Prapatti, it is self-surrender. So like that, it is reconciled. And their claim that, it is superior to Bhakti, what Gaudiya is considered as Bhakti. Actually, it is they should not make such bold statements. They should be careful unless they really study the Gaudiya Vaishnava theology properly. So, and it applies to us also, of course. We should not, unless we study there properly. But with what you call, with so I am searching for that word, my struggle with English. In a safe way, we can still say that what I said, what I made a comment to that propati. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings begin after where Krishna's teachings end. So like that, surrender is the beginning of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's process. And in general, they are interested in mukti. And again in Gaudiya teachings, mukti is condemned. So although Rupa Goswami also said that 4 kinds of mukti are not against pure devotional service, but devotees, they don't want even that without service to Krishna. So they are only interested, Mama Janmani Ishware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahaitu Kitvai. So like that, there are how Gaudiya teachings go high. There are many ways we can discuss. So this is some simple brief explanation. I have not studied so much Sri Vaishnavism, but whatever little I know. Anything else? Questions, comments?
This verse was, though I also have heard that it was quoted during Vibhishana's time, but he said that when they were walking in the forest.
No, that Lord Rama said that was another instance.
Lord Rama said this verse.
This verse is spoken by Lord only.
Yeah, but he said, I heard he spoke this verse during that instance when Vibhishana came, but I heard him saying when the horn pricked his feet.
No, both times.
Oh, that is different. That is just he didn't say that this verse is spoken.
He said,
and
means both times, so it means both times.
Oh. I don't know whether it is spoken there.
He said that
I don't know whether it is there also in Ramayana. That thorn pricking means it would be there in other Puranas and all, but so I doubt that. Okay, so anything else?
Yes, responded. Bharadwaj Samhita is part of Narada Pancharatra, so BSST emphasizes Pancharatra.
Yeah, tell loudly, no?
Bharadwaj Samhita is part of Narada Pancharatra, so Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur emphasized Pancharatra. And then yes,
So there is, see, Pancharatra is, again, I will explain that in what is relation between Pancharatra Vidhi and Bhagavata Vidhi. Or there are other terms also, Vidhi Marga and Raga Marga. So in 4th canto of Bhagavatam, Prabhupada very nicely explains that in South India all the acharyas they taught Vidhi Marga, and Gaudiyas they follow Raga Marga. Now within Raga Marga there are three stages, right? Sadhana, Bhava and Prema. And in sadhana there is Vaidhi sadhana and Raganuga sadhana. So this whole process in Raga Marga, so what we are following as Narada Pancharatra or Bharadwaja Samhita, it is a Vaidhi platform of Raga Marga it is. So Vaidhi platform of Raga Marga. So in the beginning we need, just like we need Varnashrama, we need Pancharatrika Vidhi, we need, so eventually we have to come to spontaneous stage of Raga Marga, Raga Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, and then Bhava and Prema. So later also Rupa Goswami he says how one achieves perfection by Vidhi Marga, and then one goes to Prema by, in the 19th chapter that Prema Bhakti is discussed in Nectar of Devotion. There also he discusses that. Now I'll just give one example. Now we need to, Bhagavad Vidhi means it is meant for Paramahamsas basically, just that they are not interested in eating, sleeping, sex or anything. They will just chant Hare Krishna. On its own, if something comes, they will eat, otherwise they will fast. This is Bhagavata Vidhi. Then if you want to eat, then you need, if you want sex, then you need to follow Varnashram Dharma. Then if you want to eat, you have to offer it to deity, you need deity worship, then the Pancharatrika Vidhi comes. Of course, Varnashrama also means food. Food comes from Varnashram Dharma actually. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhava yajnad bhavati parjanya yajna karmas. Yajna means there Varnashrama duties actually. Following. If there is no Varnashrama, there will be no food. And then that how you will devotionalize that Varnashrama? By Pancharatrika Vidhi. You take that, whatever you have grown that food, you offer it to Krishna, deity, and then accept it as prasadam. Because you want to eat, you want to have sex, therefore we need Varnashrama and Pancharatrika Vidhi to regulate us. These are meant for regulating us. So once we are regulated, we have to develop taste for hearing and chanting. Of course, we do side by side all of these things. And particularly Jiva Goswami, he said that if you don't chant Hare Krishna, do hearing and chanting, other process will not be so effective in this Kali Yuga. So, but in constitutionally we need those things if we want to eat and sleep, we have sex. So to make them devotionalize. So in this way, Varnashrama, Pancharatrika and Bhagavata Vidhi, they are like three tracks, Three tracks, railway tracks are there, two tracks are. So here three tracks are there, not only two actually. Saraswati Thakur, of course, he said, in his logo, he said Pancharatrika Vidhi one side, deity worship, and another side Mradanga, books and all he kept in the logo of Gaudiya Math. But informally he spoke, that was official logo, but otherwise it was one of the mission to establish Varnashram Dharma, which he gave it to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada took it in a bigger scale. And it depends on the individual, how much one will follow Varnashrama, how much one will follow. One has to follow Pancharatrika Vidhi and how much one. Like for example, for Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj or Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, they don't need to follow Varnashram Dharma or Pancharatrika Vidhi. So they just chanted Hare Krishna always, because they are Paramahamsas. So now if we want to eat and sleep, then we need this Varnashrama and Pancharatrika Vidhi. Eat, sleep, have sex. So most of us who become devotees, we also eat, we have to eat, we have to have sex, right? So therefore we need these processes. And this point that, to regulate our bodily activities, so Varnashrama and Pancharatra Vidhi is there. This is a very strong point for, why we need Varnashrama. No one can argue on this point actually. And Pancharatrika Vidhi, why we need. If anyone is there, let them argue with me. So those people who say that, we don't need Varnashrama, then why they are getting married then? Why they want to have sex actually? Food, okay, we'll throw money and purchase from supermarkets food. That food is not fit for a human beings to eat. So who can argue on this point? Chalo, so this is the relation between Varnashrama, Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavata Vidhi. It is individual cases how much one has to follow what. Some may require 10% of Varnashrama, 30% of Pancharatrika Vidhi and 60% of Bhagavata Vidhi. Some are 90% Bhagavata Vidhi or Raga Marga, spontaneous devotion, and 5% they may do this. Like that, it is different permutations and combinations. Just like 3 modes of material nature are there, like that. Different permutations and combinations. It depends on the individual, where one stands. How much one is regulated. So that is done under the guidance of spiritual master. But in general, for society, for broader society, we have to establish Varnashrama, we have to build temples for broader society. Okay, anything else? That Vidhi Marga and Raga Marga, and that is discussed in 4th canto, Puranjana section. Puranjana, that King Malayadvaja gave 4 countries in Dravida Desha to his 4 sons. His sons, like that it is there. The teaching is that in all the Vaishnava acharyas came from South India, but they taught Vidhi Marga, like that. Prabhupada explains there. Okay, what else then?